Hi everyone, Alex Tardy here, NOAA National Weather Service. This is a recap. As we head into a warm spell here in Southern California, let's take a look at the water year rainy season so far. This is a view of San Gorgonio Mountain. Beautiful view, courtesy of Ben's Weather. The snowpack really tells the story. This is a low amount of snow for this area. Now, the water year looks like this so far. Water year starts October. That's the stormy, rainy season in the West. 50% of normal for the Southwest, most of Southern California, even drier inner desert areas. Now, notably, really warm, much above normal temperatures in our mountains and deserts. If you look at the precipitation across the area, you can see that the numbers from San Diego onward were very low, especially compared to last year and 2 years ago, 2022-23. Some places were record wet in that year. The rainy season isn't over with. Some of the numbers here have an asterisk, and that's because the numbers may not be complete to date. Now, if you rank it, we're not the driest water year so far, but we are in top 10. Arizona, worse off. So our desert areas are definitely worse off than Southern California, but a top 10 dry water year in terms of ranking. This is a different depiction of the same information. You can see Southern California was much below average, the line shown there. And on average, LA to San Diego Basin landing in the top 10 driest. This has resulted in drought conditions, and we remain in D2 all over Southern California, even D3, extreme drought in the desert areas, including the Coachella Valley and Anza Borrego area. The drought onset was quick. It happened in December with a record dry start to our rainy season. You can see other droughts in the past are shown on this timeline. Why was there a drought? Why was there lack of precipitation and snow in Southern California? We didn't have storms. Well, we did have storms, but they went to our north and east. This is also why we had 17 Santa Ana winds. So we were on the dry backside and windy side of all these storms. The black line is the average storm track to our north and east. So most storms came into the West Coast, but they missed us to the north and east. If you look at October through March, percent of average across the entire West, a lot of red, especially in the Southwest. Percent of normal, 25% or less in a lot of areas. Now in the San Diego area and much of our area, it was about 50%, or the cup was half full. If you look at the water year ranking, you can see we weren't the driest, but as said, we were top 10 in our mountains and our deserts. But there were some areas in the Great Basin and desert Southwest that were driest. Opposite in Northern California, very wet conditions followed that black average line where the storm track was very active. Now, just December through March, that's kind of the core of our winter rainy season where we average the most precipitation in those months. About 50% of average in our area in Southwest California. And that ranks as a dry year, but certainly not the driest. The water year, October through March, you can see a lot of our area was even drier when you look at it as a whole, orange shaded. And the percent of normal on the right-hand side, about 50% of normal, and a lot of places a little bit less than that. Temperature-wise, we talk about temperature because that affects drought, snowmelt, and evaporation. So precipitation was dry, but temperatures were really warm. And in fact, where was it warmest in California and Nevada? You guessed it, that dark red shaded record warmth so far this water year in our mountains and our desert areas, as shown here. This affects snowpack. Snowpack on April 1st, this is not today's snowpack, but when we should see our highest amount. So we have a lot of data on this, and we were slightly but near average statewide. Really carrying us was Northern California snowpack because the storm track was more active there as shown. Statewide, the numbers look like this. We were right around average, and the really big snowpacks were 82, 83, and then 2022, 23, just 2 years ago. We break it out in the Sierra Nevada in two different indices. So this is the southern portion. You can see it was considerably below average. This includes rain and snow, so precipitation. When we look at Northern California, that really carried us this year and will help our water supply as that snow runs off. The rain and snow, the total precipitation was above average as shown here. And the water year is not over with. Historically, we've been all over the place with some very dry years in the past couple decades, but also a very wet year. The 2016, 2017, that was comparable to some of the wettest years we've ever seen historically across all of the Sierra Nevada. Here are some resources for you. The data, if you like to look at the precipitation numbers or the temperature data or even the wind data, is shown at the link with the arrow here. We also have water resource information, including snow and runoff into our rivers and reservoirs. This will be an important couple of months here as we go through April and May, and especially in these heat waves as we get a lot of runoff to see how much water we get back into our reservoirs. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Hope this was helpful.